Math lesson 7, scientific notation. Scientists use this kind of numbering system. That way they don't have to write out all these 20, 30 zeros and then have a number at the end. So that's why we're going to take a look at these numbers. On the first page, on page 27, we have that number at the bottom. That's the weight of a proton. And what's the point of having those? I think there's 19 or 20 zeros in there. What's the point of that? I mean, you can write it out like that. If you write a number in trillions or whatever further, it's always hard. You always have to count the number of zeros and then say that word and then the next and the next. Why not just have 1.67 times 10 to the power of negative 21 megagrams or milligrams or whatever it is. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at today, both back and forth, negatives and positives. So going over to how to change these things we're going to take a look at how to change the scientific notation into standard form. Scientific notation is this. And standard notation is this, or standard form. So what we do is take a look at this number. We're going to take a look at the scientific one first. Now, negative 7. So you take 6.12, move it over 7 times. 1, 2. Oh, the other way. It's the negative number. Negative numbers, we go that way. Positive numbers, positive exponents, we move it this way. So we have the decimal there, and move this over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0.000000612. There you go. You have that number. Now, changing it the other way around to change a number from standard form into scientific notation. Let's take this is any random number, and then changing this into a scientific notation. Let's add some zeros for color. Changing this to scientific notation, I should make this a little less of a complicated number. So now we take this number and move the decimal all the way over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way where there's only one number left. We have a 9.35 multiplied by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. So that's how we're going to change these from scientific notation to standard notation and standard notation to scientific notation. All right, so going on to number 1, we have, well, I only had space here, so I'll do that. Number 1, we have 4.21 times 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 6. And now we're supposed to change this to standard form. How do we do this? Take this decimal, move it over 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4, 2, 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in your commas, and there you go. That wasn't that difficult. This is number 1. Number 1b, 904 times 10 to the power of 4. Now, again, move it over 4 times, so you have 904, and you have 2 slots open, 0, 0. Right there you are. So that's how you do changing them into standard notation. Pretty simple, I think. Now, let me erase this. On to number 3. Number 2, A and B, you can do on your own. Number 3, we have 78,300,000. So, how do we change this to scientific notation? Move this decimal all the way at the end over all the way to the other side where there's only one number left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you'd write 7.83 times 10 to the power of positive 7. Pretty simple there, right? Now let's do a negative one. 0.000067. 0.000067. Now changing this to scientific notation, you move it over until you only have one left there. Until the number right after the last 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6.7 times 10 to the power of negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5. And then do the rest on your own. See if you can do this, changing scientific notation to standard notation and standard notation to scientific notation. So go ahead and do the rest of the lesson on your own. If you have any questions, let me know.